George of the jungle, watching for that collision at turn 3. Welcome back to Fog Racing, and it is George Russell winning his second race as Lando Norris and Max Verstappen take each other out, alright? And we may as well just talk about that, because the rest of the race was
Well, there's
mess.
nothing else to talk about, so let's just get into the juicy part.
Let's get into the
Unless
juicy.
you want to talk about how bad Perez is, but we seem to do that every fid, so let's not.
Perez, washed. Leclerc, washed. Alonso, Ferry, washed. I don't know what's
Hold
happened.
on, Leclerc's washed.
He's had a shite couple of races. No, it wasn't his fault today, but I mean, you heard title challenge be mentioned after Monaco, and he's been lapped in 2 out of the 3 fucking races and retired in the other one. Work out on it. Come on.
Washed is someone who's done, old, past it.
So Perez and Alonso then.
I'd say so.
Looking that way. Anyway, I mean, the race was bad, right? There's no glossing it up.
Or could Alonso just be demotivated because he had hopes that this could be it? The fairy tale return in Aston Martin just seems to get worse.
Well, I'll tell you what, Perez can't use that.
You look at it last season, Aston Martin started off pretty well, and then there was talks, they're going to be able to close the gap to Red Bull. And that just never happened. But what actually happened was the car behind Aston Martin closed the gap to Red Bull. So Alonso started the season with like the second fastest car probably, but by the halfway point, he had like the 5th fastest car. And again, this season, I mean, Aston Martin, they didn't start great, but you felt like they were there or thereabouts.
They were 5th.
And the longer the season goes on, they seem to be getting further away from being able to challenge the teams in front of them, and they've probably been already overtaken, I'd say. They're no longer 5th, man. They're probably like 7th at best.
8th. I mean, this weekend, man.
So I'd say it's been 2 very demotivating seasons for Fernando.
I think he'll get more points this season, but I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't get more points if they do not improve the car. Anyway, let's improve the race, because he had 50 laps and nothing. Why couldn't Norris do what he did to Max in the last stint that he did in that he could have done in the first stint? I don't know, right? But it got spicy towards the end. But you know what? As much as a lot of blame is going to be put on Max Verstappen's shoulder, I'm actually going to put a lot of blame on Lando Norris' shoulder. I don't think the crash is his fault, but I think the move should have been done like 5 laps prior.
That's bullshit.
What?
So you're blaming... Nah, it doesn't work like that.
I'm not blaming him for the crash.
Who cares if he didn't do it? Alright, fair enough, go.
Well, there's no need to fucking cry about it.
No, I'm not. It's just that...
You're a Lando fanboy?
No, but that logic's retarded, man.
No, Lando...
People are blaming Verstappen for the crash, but I'm going to put the blame on Norris, because if he'd have passed him 5 laps ago, it would never have happened. That's like... You know what?
No, I'm blaming Norris
like,
for not winning this race.
That bus driver shouldn't have ran you over, but if you left your house 5 minutes ago, you'd have been able to sit there.
Lando Norris would have overtook Max and not won this race if they didn't collide here, because he had a 5-second time penalty. Lando Norris cost himself a victory today with inept racecraft. I think he could have overtook him at about 3, 4, 5 opportunities, and he just failed to set it up.
Who had the 5-second penalty?
Lando Norris got a penalty as soon as the collision happened because he exceeded track limits for a late dive bomb. So he wouldn't have won the race anyway, because he wouldn't have pulled a 5-second gap.
I think it's ridiculous he got a 5-second penalty for that.
No, I think it's ridiculous, but what I'm saying is, no, it's not his fault for the collision, but I think he threw away another win today.
I think exceeding track limits should only count if you're actually gaining time.
He didn't gain any.
He wasn't gaining any time, he just ran wide, attempting an overtake.
Right, so the incident itself, I mean...
So basically that's preventing people from overtaking. You're going to put people off the overtaking. People are going to think, well, hold on, if I can't stop in time, then I'm going to go off the track and I'm going to get a penalty. It's not worth it.
The penalties don't make sense to me, right? He shouldn't have got a penalty for it, right? Because it's not exceeding...
He slowed down, let him back through. You lose time by going off the track.
It's like the F1 game, though. Sometimes you get penalties for exceeding track limits, even if you lose time. Max gets a 10-second penalty for wiping both of them out and goes to 55th. I think he should have got a drive-through. Because then, but even then, it's hard to give him a penalty that guarantees him loss of something. It wasn't a bad enough crash to be like, he needs disqualified sort of thing.
The penalty gave him 0 loss because he already had to pit.
Yeah.
Once he has to pit, he's losing enough time, so therefore, that extra 10 seconds is nothing.
Yeah. Nothing. But as for the crash, Norris tries to go around the outside. Max just closes the door. I mean, I think he left him it was not like he completely forced him off the track, but he just closed down on him. And then even after the contact, Max is like forcing them onto the grass.
Wouldn't let him through.
Wouldn't let him through. Not that it mattered because Norris's tyres went as well. And then somehow...
Initially, though, it looked like Norris was going to get out the better of the two, but then the further they got round the lap, you actually realised, no wait, Norris is screwed here.
Yeah, Norris gets screwed. Russell flies past. Piastri then overtakes Sainz. You think, alright, maybe Piastri can get Russell. He couldn't. Now, if Piastri didn't get that lap, took away from qualifying yesterday, I think he would have won the race. But he didn't. Norris retires. He says that if Max doesn't accept responsibility, he's going to not be his friend anymore and he's going to lose a lot of respect for the guy. Is that too far? Was it that bad for Max? I don't think it was that bad. He did way worse with Hamilton. I mean, a lot worse with Lewis Hamilton.
Are Lewis and Max friends, though? Probably not.
No, they're not friends, but I wouldn't say they're... They're acquaintances. Like, anytime they talk. Not like they're blacklisted from each other. So
Well,
if
who is on the grid, like?
Well, no one, but I mean, yeah, it's kind of lost that animosity.
Ocon and Verstappen don't really like each other, but...
Ocon doesn't really like anyone, to be honest. But for me, I don't think... I mean, I think he deserved a harsher penalty for the simple reason as it didn't cost him anything, the penalty, but I don't think the crash was that bad. Like, sometimes these cars survive massive impacts. See, in another day, these two would have continued on. But it was weird. It was like the slightest bit of contact fucked both of them up. Russell locks into a win. But here, you've got to be there to win it. Lewis Hamilton, where was he today? Again, I just think these drivers that, like Hamilton...
Talk about washed. I don't think Ferrari are making the right decision here, replacing Sainz with Hamilton.
No, I don't. Ferrari, the fourth fastest team. I think Hamilton threw away... I think Hamilton had a good chance in Canada to win. Qualified was shit. So was Russell. Yo, I think the Red Bull ain't the fastest car. I think the McLaren is, and Max somehow walks away gaining points on his nearest rivals. Don't know how, but he did.
I mean, if Ferrari are looking at it from like a markability standpoint, bringing in a 7-time world champion, potentially making potentially helping Hamilton break the Schumacher record, then I mean, I guess that's a good story or whatever. But
why would they want to do that though? Schumacher's a Ferrari bona fide. You think of Ferrari, you think of Michael Schumacher. Why would they help?
True, but 8 times, that'd be setting the brand new record. So I guess they would have that record as well.
Imagine as soon as Hamilton crossed the line, Schumacher woke up.
Yeah, but I mean, if we're basing it just on performances, like I think Sainz has been better than Hamilton for a while. I'd say this season and last season.
No, I'd agree with that, but here, I look at this and I just think Lando Norris is almost threw away 3 wins in a row. Canada, he was a bit unlucky with the safety car, right? But I still think he should have won it. Fastest car, I think. Maybe, well, I think Mercedes had the fastest car that weekend, but they were quicker than Red Bull. Last time out, pish start in Barcelona. It cost himself. Again the day though, another pish start. He ended up 8 seconds behind Max. I just think this whole end of the race could have been avoided if he just overtook him. It's almost like he lacked the belief. Here, it made for a great battle that he didn't overtake him straight away, but I think Norris fucked up the win.
He hardly lacked the belief. Look how many times he attempted to do it. Lacking the belief would be sitting behind and not going for it.
No, I disagree, because it's not. I don't think Max was even defending that hard. Norris was just fucking up. That's what I think.
Well, you must have missed Max constantly bending the rules and breaking in moving in the breaking point. So, I mean, there you go. Norris, do you think he was complaining on the radio for no reason? Complaining?
No, I think he's a justified point, but what I'm saying is, I think Max can go 10 times harder than that.
Didn't need to though, did he?
No, he didn't need to, because Norris wasn't doing anything.
Because Norris was obeying the rules and Max clearly wasn't he?
And what did that get him? You gotta play dirty with this guy.
You play dirty and you get penalties though.
Yeah, Max Verstappen's penalty was extremely light compared to Norris's. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this video. George Russell wins. We've got a week till Silverstone. Who do you think will win there? Prediction.
Probably Max Verstappen, like.
Be interesting though, 3 Brits on his tail, even though it's more like 1 because Mercedes quite aren't there at the top. But anyway, guys, leave your thoughts down below and peace.